going to talk about solving triangles that are not right angle triangles. They're called oblique triangles. Oblique triangles. Okay, they do not, the biggest thing you need to know about them is an oblique triangle does not have a right angle. Okay, it does not have a right angle. With the methods that we've used, the 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90, and SOHCAHTOA, they've all been right triangles. We don't have right triangles in this case, so we have to learn two new methods to solve them. Have you guys used the law of sines, the law of cosines before? I think that they do that only in pre-calc. So my guess is that you didn't do a geometry, but I just wanted to ask. Okay. So this will be very new for you, but it's pretty straightforward. I think we'll probably only get through the law of sines today, and then we'll probably do law of cosines tomorrow. Okay. The law of sines is that big, I'm going to blow this up here. Okay, is this guy right here. Okay, the law of sines basically says we can set up a proportion and solve sides with it. And what you look at, what you see here is, for example, if we have A over sine A, that's saying, okay, we have angle A here, which is the capital letter. Oh, straight across from that angle is side A. So the side that corresponds to the angle is straight across from it. Same thing with side B and angle B, side C and angle C. Okay, so that's kind of the first part of what I wanted to touch on there. Now we are going to use that idea to solve example 1. Okay, when you solve these, you're only going to use two proportions. Thanks, Francis. Okay, you're only going to use two of the proportions. You won't need all three of them. So if you look at it here, we want to find side A. That means this is going to be one of our proportions. So we're going to do side A over the sine of angle A. So angle A is 55 degrees. So again, the angle is going to correspond to the side that's straight across from it. You checking with me on that? You okay on setting that up? Okay. Now, you need one other full set. When I say a full set, I mean a side and an angle that we already have the measures of. So what angle and what corresponding side, give me the letter, do we already have? C. Okay, so side C is 8, angle C is 30. So we do 8 over the sine of 30. Do you always use sine? So this is called the law of sines, so yes. And then tomorrow we'll talk about, no, that's okay. That's a good question. No, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean like well, tomorrow we'll do the law of sines. No, I really didn't. I really didn't. I don't think I said that, like, we have the law of sines and the law of cosines. That's my law.
Just the way you said it. Well, this is the law.
So this is the law of sines. Yes. To answer your question, yes. We will only use sine on
So
this.
that's how this Wednesday is
At least you can have a laugh. Oh man, that would be pretty intense if that's how I answered actually. Okay. Anyway, so once we have a proportion set up, we can cross multiply. So our method of solving is cross multiplying. You guys are gonna go around telling everybody. Like she has the biggest attitude in the school. Okay, so we cross multiply, we'll get A times the sine of 30, and then 8 times the sine of 55. So just doing some cross multiplying. All right, now we want to get, and I don't think I said this first part either. We only want one variable. There should only be one variable in your whole set. Okay, so we're solving for A, meaning we need to solve for A, get it by itself. So how would I get A by itself where I'm currently at? How do I move that sine 30? You divide by sine 30. Okay, when we put these in our calculators, we have to be very careful. Okay, you have to use parentheses around your numerator. So when I put this in, I'm going to put parentheses around that top part, 8 times the sine of 55. Okay, and you'll notice that sometimes different calculators will add in parentheses for you. You want to make sure that you end the same amount that you start. So here, we started 2 parentheses, so I made sure that I ended 2 parentheses. You with me on that? Okay, and then we can hit our divided by sine 30. So you should get 13 point, we'll round it to 1, 1. Okay, that's how we find a side using the law of sines. Now we're going to use law of sines and find an angle. Okay, any questions on finding a side? Okay. So to find a side, it's the same exact process. There's just something at the end that is a bit different. Okay, so when we look here, okay, what are we solving for? What are we solving for? Angle R. Okay, so when we write the proportion for R, we know we're going to have sine R on the bottom, and that's going to be our only variable, because it's what we're solving for. What is going to go on top? What side corresponds to angle R? 41. Okay, because 41 is straight across from angle R. Then we have to have another set. What's our other set? What angle in side combination? Letter Q. Okay, so we would have sine of angle Q, which is 39, over side Q, which is 28, because it's straight across from. Okay, questions on that setup? We okay on getting it set up? Yes? Okay. Cross multiply. Okay, do you see the difference from the last question? What do you notice? What's different now than what we did in the last question? The variable, okay, the variable, when you say it's on the right side, what do you mean? Okay. It has to do with the variable.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes, it's inside with sine. It's like sine of the variable instead of being on the outside. You guys are just trying to get me to do something.
I'm not wrong though. It's on the right side.
You are correct.
Maybe there's a connection.
Not the answer I was looking for, but you are correct. Okay, we don't have the variable out here. We have it inside. It's the angle. Do you guys remember when we were doing, like, say we had this? How did I have to solve for the angle here? What did I have to do in my calculator?
Times by 5. Wait.
No, if I want to get x, if I want to solve for x. Inverse. You would have to do the inverse tangent of your fraction. Okay, that's the problem that we had. So over here, that same thing is going to happen. Okay. First, we need to get rid of the 28. So go ahead, excuse me, and divide by 28. Okay, what I want you to notice is that what we have over here, sine of r equals a fraction, is the same, well, not the same, similar to what we have here. Tangent of a variable equals a fraction. Okay, and that's every single time that the variable is with the trig function, that's when we need to do inverse. Okay, so when we're solving for that angle. So here, maybe, when we put it into our calculator, we'll do sine inverse of our fraction. And that'll give us our angle. Okay, now what I want you to notice is that there's something a little bit different when you put this in. When you press sine inverse, it will go ahead and automatically add a parenthesis for you. Don't count that parenthesis, okay, because that's for the whole thing. So if you look here, when I entered another parenthesis and then my numerator, and then I ended those two parentheses. Then you can hit your divided by 28. So you should have a total of 3 that you start and 3 that you end. Okay? If you're using a TI Inspire, it may look a little bit different, and I can show you to do that if you have any issues. Okay? You should get 67.15 degrees. Okay. That's the law of sine. We won't do anything else different. Sometimes you'll solve for an angle, sometimes you'll solve for a sine when you're doing the law of sine. Okay. Go ahead and flip it over to the next page. There's 4 practice problems. Do you guys want me to do any of these with you, or do you just want to try them on your own? You want to try them? Okay, try them. I'll give you about 9:55. I'll give about 20 minutes. That'd be perfect. I think it might take you like 15, 20. So go ahead and take 20 minutes, and then I'm going to do each of them on the board with you. Okay? And then tomorrow we'll do log cosine. Go ahead and work on those 4 practice problems. Use what we just did to help you. Okay?